Hi everyone, it's time for some more Scrapplications on Rolodex cards. I'm going to put this in fast forward and I will speak to you again at the end. Okay, so I ended up making 3 more little Rolodex cards, and I wanted to just point out a couple of things since I did not talk through that video. I had intended to leave this one all rough around the edges, like the little cluster that I started with, and then I decided, as you saw in the video later, I came back and trimmed out the edges because I wanted to round the corners, and when it was all ruffled and torn around the edges, I wasn't able to round the corners and make it look like all the rest of the cards. And in the process, I cut the top of the head off of my poor little girl owl. So I felt really bad about that. So I'm going to add a little flower there. I've got a tiny little, it's actually a fabric flower. So I'm going to put that there. And it will kind of disguise a little bit where I chopped her head. And besides that, I think it'll look kind of cute to have a flower up there, since it is a little girl with her cute little eyelashes. So I'm going to put a little glue. Actually, I think I'll just put it right here on the card. And I'm just going to put it like right here near her eye. And just attach that there, stringy glue. Okay. Whoops. And just kind of sit it right there. All right. Now, I think that's cute, and it makes it look not so obvious that she's been cut. And I'm going to take one of my little pit pens here, and I'm going to just color in the center with the yellow just to give it a little bit more color there, make it stand out a little bit more. Might need a darker one. I mean, that's okay. It's actually kind of running into the fabric. I probably ought to quit while I'm ahead, but okay, I'm going to leave it there. It at least looks like it has a center now, the flower. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. I also, off camera, had drawn a little skinny border with a black pen and kind of did those scribble doodles around the border and some doodles around the words here just to finish it off. So that's that one. She's all done. And the next one I wanted to mention, I did a couple of things. I outlined a little scribbly border around the words that I stamped, and I also took that leftover napkin and cut another little petal out to add up here because it was real empty there. And I outlined the washi tape piece that I put in there so that it could be seen a little bit better. And I wanted to mention the reason that I offset this phrase over to the side was I was concerned about the tail of this Y being cut right where the hole is. So I kept turning it over. I don't know if you could tell in the fast forward that I was turning it. Sometimes I was off camera, so you may not have even seen it. But I just wanted to mention that in case you guys, while you're making these, you might want to be sure and pay attention. If there is something important, it will get cut away once you punch your little holes back in the card. So be mindful of that, and that's what I did. I offset it, so then since this was a little empty, I added just a little piece of washi tape to kind of tie in some of the peachy colors over there, and I think that worked. So that pretty much is finished. Oh, and I did also a little scribbly outline on the flower itself that was on the napkin. And then this one, I like this one a lot, but I feel like it still needs some more. And I think the reason I feel that way is because it's all pretty light in color and all kind of same. Kind of like the same color tones. And I think it needs a little bit of contrast. So I thought I would add a little bit of dark blue with this flower. And what I want to do is just snip it apart. Let's see, I'm going to snip right into the center of these petals. Of this flower to cut off the petals. Okay, there we go. So let's try those 3. What I'm thinking of doing is just putting some little tail feathers on the bird since he doesn't really have a tail. And I thought that might look kind of cute. That is cute already. Just to give him, give the card a little more color, give him some feathers, tail feathers. That's kind of cute. All right, so I'm going to glue those down. And let's see, I might use this one and just add one piece from there. I think I will. Yep. It's kind of easier than fiddling with the teeny tiny pieces if I can use a bigger piece. Okay, this is just the Fabri-Tac glue that I'm using. I like it because it dries quickly. I don't like the smell of it. If you have issues with odors and strong smells, this might not be the glue for you. I don't use it too much because of that. But it does dry quickly and holds really well. So that's why I choose it sometimes, especially when I'm filming. You know, it just dries quicker, and I don't. It doesn't take as long to film the video. Okay, so I have a little tail on. I think that looks kind of cute. Little tail feathers. Okay, now because now there is this new darker color, I want to add it and spread it across the page a little bit more. So I'm going to take a Sharpie marker, and it's in this dark kind of royal blue color, and I'm going to draw an additional line inside these little tissue words that I had stamped on the tissue. And so I'm going to do that. So that brings the blue on across this way a little bit more. It's hard to tell on camera from the black that's there, but it actually looks a little purple depending on the light, but I think it'll be okay. And then I was thinking about adding a border in this color, but I think this marker's too thin, so I'm looking to see what I might have that will work there. Let's see what this one looks like. This one's not quite the right color, I don't think. It might be all right, I suppose. It's pretty close. Anyway, it'll give me a thicker line, and I want a thicker line going around, not quite so thin. I might have a problem with this, I'm not sure. When I use these markers on deli paper, it sometimes doesn't want to dry and just wants to bead up. So I'll have to watch that. With the paint on the deli paper, it might work okay. It might dry up just fine, but sometimes it's kind of picky. Like it beading up right there, so I'm just going to put another layer over where I see it's beading up, and maybe it'll all dry pretty well. Okay. Whoops. All right, so anyway, I think that it looks better as long as all that dries okay. I think it looks better now, having just a little bit of contrast on the card. I like it a lot more. Okay, so those are my 3 cards for this little session of Scrapplications, and I'm looking forward to making some more. And also I'll be using scraps, doing these Scrapplications on other things as well. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.